So first things first, I made a boo-boo. I tested out earlier 2 different types. I was using my awful shotgun mic and the gain on that was absolutely dreadful. I haven't learned to use it yet. I'm learning as I go along. But I made the mistake of, I was testing the ring light, which I have in front of me now, and I was testing the 𝗘𝗨𝗴𝗁𝗁 airs. I did not test it properly. I did not have them on the same settings. I think the comparison was unfair. I wasn't sat in the same place. It was a lazy review. So this is the proper one. This is me comparing apples with apples, not apples with 𝗏𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 to try out the 𝗘𝗹𝗴𝗵𝘁, of which I have two at a 45-degree angle from me on my desk, and the ring light, which I have in front of me, which has my camera sat in the centre of it. Now, given I paid about £140 for the ring light, and I paid about £120 for each of the 𝗘𝗹𝗴𝗵𝘁, so they're nearly twice the price, I have kind of quite high expectations of those. Certainly the build quality of those feels better to me than the ring light, which actually I was a bit disappointed with how flimsy it felt, particularly at the price point. But I wanted to test them at the same. Now I'm going to put them both to the same settings. Both the ring light and the 𝗘𝗹𝗴𝗵𝘁 I'm going to set to 15% brightness with a 7000K temperature, which is the brightest temperature you can have. So I have set them both up with little shortcuts on my lovely Stream Deck Mini, which is really, really useful for when you're doing this kind of thing, but also for when you've got conference calls or when you're just doing recording of videos, so that you can just get all your lights and preset them and just get them up at the touch of a button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the first one. So the first one is going to be the 𝗘𝗹𝗴𝗵𝘁. I'm conscious, incidentally, that this is very, very dark at the moment. I only have ambient lighting on. I have a coloured bulb in the ceiling, and I have this kind of my PC here, some neon to the right of me, and I'm being lit by my screen. Now actually it's really testament to the Sony a6400 camera which I'm using, which I have set at shutter speed of 1/50th of a second because we're recording 25 frames a second, and I have the aperture at the shortest amount of 1.4, which should is letting in about as much light as it possibly can, but the focal depth is not going to be particularly deep, so I should get that nice bokeh, however you want to say it, effect behind me as well if I really had anything behind me, which I haven't. So without further ado, I'm going to press the first button, which is going to bring on the 𝗘𝗹𝗴𝗵𝘁. And the lens does take a moment to settle, but that's about where we are. So actually I can see myself in the camera up here, and I can see myself on the screen. I think that's quite nice. I think actually the lighting of it's pretty good. It's pretty even. I actually don't look too haggard, which is nice because I look very haggard in real life. But you're kind of, it's not putting any harsh shadows across my face. I'm quite happy with that. I think that's a really nice effect. I'm now going to switch to the ring light. Now bear in mind that is half the price, and for me on my desk, I mean, I had to get these set up either side here. I've now just got it literally directly in front of me. I love that focus as well. It's so quick, the focus on the a6400. So we're now going to switch across. Oh, that is dramatically different. Let me go back. Oh, is it? No, maybe not once it settles. Yeah, I'd say this doesn't feel quite as bright, but then that's two that I've got. And actually, again, I don't think the lighting's too harsh. I quite like it. For double the price, I'm not sure that I would have bothered with the 𝗘𝗹𝗴𝗵𝘁. I find them particularly, I wanted the, just to let you in on why I've bought both, because a lot of people, it's overkill. I actually wanted to have the 𝗘𝗹𝗴𝗵𝘁 on my desk, so that when I've got conference calls and the like, I can just get the 𝗘𝗹𝗴𝗵𝘁, bang, hit the button, great. I can have my call with the client. And I wanted the ring light for when I wanted to record actual content on a green screen and the like, so I could set the camera up on a tripod over here and do from whatever angle I wanted within the room. I didn't always want to be stuck at my desk, so I actually wanted both of them for that. But as I say, if I look forward, and I'm going to have a look down here as well. I'm not sure which one I prefer. I'm not sure there's even that much difference. I think the thing that's really noticeable actually about the key lights, which is quite interesting. I don't know if you can spot it, but if you look at the radiator down here, people often talk about the harsh shadows when you're using kind of ring lights and the like. So if you look at the radiator as we switch across, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a very clear. God, it's really hard to do when you're doing it backwards. There's like a shadow down here that's being cast across it, which when I was looking for differences was really, really noticeable. So if I go back now and you look, it's gone. And I think as much as anything, that's because the key lights are pushing past me. They're pushing beyond me, so they're lighting more of the room behind me. I think that's a really nice, it's a really nice look. I actually don't know about the angle that I'm talking into this about either. I think it feels quite high up. It feels like I'm looking right up, but at least I'm not going to do me some favours on the double chins, which is a bonus. I don't want to be looking down at the camera. So no, I'm quite happy with that. Also, I've moved my microphone, so I've always had it kind of over here on a swivel that I pull around and it sits here in front of me. But it's always been really irritating to me. So I got the blue compass arm, which you'll see here, which is more of a kind of a, I'm using it more like a boom pole to sit. I really wanted it out of shot, if I'm honest. But I found that it just wasn't quite near enough to pick up the sound. When I went just a little bit further higher and a little bit further, it wasn't really near enough. So I wasn't picking up the sound as well. And obviously the closer to these kind of microphones you are, the better the sound quality you get. So going back anyway to the lights, I wouldn't say I'm disappointed because I didn't buy them for this purpose, but I guess I was expecting maybe the ring light would perform a bit better given it's the purpose. But if I'm brutally honest, I actually think the light that comes off of these is better. Yeah, I think it's better. I don't know if when I get nearer. What do you think? I don't know if when I get nearer, it's maybe I'm a little bit far away from the ring light. I mean, certainly then I get a lot more shadows because I've got the microphone and stuff in the way. So it's maybe not a fair test. But I think for this kind of up close, I think maybe it's the, maybe actually it comes down to the focal length. I think that's maybe the conclusion I would draw from it, because when I do get closer to it, and you do that kind of, I think this is probably quite far away from a YouTube-y type talking head. I think most people are probably kind of here. And actually the lighting on that looks really nice when I look up at it. So I think maybe it's for what you're using it for. And I think for what I've designed them for, to use this one for the kind of pieces to camera on a green screen and like, absolutely fantastic. Really, really pleased with it. I'm actually really pleased as well that I can kind of lean on my desk now with where it's at, because that was always a real problem. Everyone else's videos, they're always leant forward on a desk and I wasn't able to do that. So if I pop that on, and we're going to go back to the key lights, you can see that because of where the mic is, I'm getting quite a bit there, so I have to sit back to get that. But I think the day to day, if I'm sat here, I think definitely the key light airs are probably the superior lighting. The superior lighting for this, and the more I look at it, the more I think that is. I look like I might have been on holiday. I've got a bit of colour to my face, which is nice. I don't look too washed out. I don't look too shiny. It's very hot in here, I have to say. I've had my PC editing and all sorts all day, so it's very warm in here. But I don't look too shiny in it. I think when you go over to the other one, oh, wrong button. When you go over to here, oh, I've turned them both off. I think just because it can't get beyond me as much, I'm not sure it's pulling out. I'm not sure it's pulling out as well as I'd like. I'm actually looking at the flash, the exposure compensation on the camera as well, which is interesting. So that's let's see if that changes. So it's kind of flicking between a -1 and -0.7. It's kind of automatically flicking. I've got it set on manual mode, so I've got it set to 1/50th of a second for the shutter speed. The aperture is at 1.4. The ISO is at 100. It seems to cope pretty well in low light, this camera. It's an absolute beast of a low light camera. But yeah, it's flicking between the compensation is flicking between 0.7 and 1. So if we go to the 𝗘𝗹𝗴𝗵𝘁, I wonder if that changes. Absolutely not at all. I mean, it's probably sitting more consistently at 0.7. It's not really flicking between 0.7 and 1 is all I've noticed, but it's a marginal gain. I think this is the best setup. I think in terms of brightness, I think this is how I want it. My only frustration is that when I do these kind of talking heads and I'm doing them to the camera, actually I don't really want to be at my desk here. I haven't really, because of the layout of my room, I haven't really got anything interesting behind me to show you. Most people have like really cool stuff behind them or loads of depth of field. I've got quite a narrow room. I've got leads everywhere over there that I forgot to tidy up. They'll be plugged in next time you see this. But I've got leads over there. You can't kind of see anything. All the interesting stuff is either in front of me or over to the side here. So ideally, I really want to come this way. So maybe actually the answer is the ring light stays there for the webcam stuff, and maybe it's the key lights I move. Maybe it's the key lights I move. Maybe I move the key lights to other places in the room and I use those as my kind of portables, or maybe I don't, and maybe I just use the key light and accept there's not that much of a difference between the two. But I'd love your thoughts. Let me know what you think. What do you think the difference is between the two? I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's a massive difference, but I can definitely notice, as I say, if we look at the radiator now and I go over to the ring light, you can just, oh, turned everything off. You can just kind of notice a bit more shadow. I don't know why I'm dancing like a drunk uncle at a pub, but anyway, at a wedding even. But you're seeing that. But would normal people notice that? For 140 versus 240 for £100 more, are you bothered by that shadow particularly? Is the picture quality any better? I'm not sure. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like this, smash the like button. That's I think I'm learning the lingo on YouTube now. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know which one you prefer. And let me know which one you would go for. Would you go for that ring light for the portability, or would you go for these kind of slightly more over to one side, out of the way 𝗘𝗹𝗴𝗵𝘁? Which one works for you? See you on the next one. Well, you're a glutton for punishment, staying all the way to the end, but I really appreciate it. Now, if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe over here, somewhere. Am I anywhere near it? Not sure. Or watch one of the extra videos up here. Peace! Pretty gangster. Yep. I'll be on that TikTok soon. Definitely.